Okay, I'm back. We are starting to record. Okay, good morning, everybody. Let me make sure I have my video. All right, perfect. Welcome, welcome this morning. Happy Thursday. I'm super excited today because I'm going to be talking about something that helped me a lot when I started in business, not just network marketing, but many, many years ago. Uh, the story actually started very interesting. I was working with a friend of mine. I was in college, but also I was selling books part-time. And we were coming out of the training, and we were all dressed up because that's the way that we were going door to door and tired and everything. And we were walking, and then a Camaro stopped. And the Camaro stopped. Let's see, I was 18 years old, just out of high school. We started college. And my friend was the same. And then the guy came out of the Camaro and he asked us, how many of you would like to be millionaires? And of course we say, yeah, we want to. Who? And I joking, say, who do we have to kill? He said, no, 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 it's nothing illegal. He said, but he gave me a business card to my friend and I, and he said, we have a meeting that's coming up and just happened to be network marketing. That was the first time that I saw network marketing in my life. The story is one day I'm going to tell the whole story, how that developed, etc. But what's interesting seeing people that were jumping up and down and talking about how much more they were making. And then we met the founder of that company that eventually disappeared, but the guy became a legend. Many of you maybe heard about him. He lived in Florida, Glenn Turner. Well, that's his name, Glenn Turner. But anyway, and this was in South America, in Venezuela. Now, that was the first time that I heard about network marketing. The companies appeared, was shut down here in the US and all over the world. But that left something incredible. This guy gave me a book, and the book was called Think and Grow Rich, the Spanish version. And I went crazy with that book. I wrote so much that kind of fall apart, and I have it in a bag, somewhere in a box. I wanted to find it for now, but I highlight everything. I record my voice reading every chapter because I thought it was very impressive. And in the book, for those of you that have read it, said there is a secret in this book that when you discover the secret, then massive stuff start happening to you. But he doesn't tell you what the secret is. However, there are many clues, and and you see that clue especially in the chapter where he talks about setting up goals, and that's what I'm going to go today through, and I'm going to even make a little twitch that make it even stronger. And this is going to be the first of a series of recording that I'm going to do about personal development. Personal development actually is my passion. And I feel that one of the reasons we have really created a lot of teams and many teams in network marketing in the past is because I believe so much in personal development. I believe so much in the potential that people have that it doesn't matter many times the skills. When you have so much excitement about something, when you believe so much about something, and you know the basics, you don't have to be a super expert, then you're going to start attracting great things. And when I may say attracting, that doesn't mean that you are sitting in a chair and everything's happening by itself. It's just that you start seeing the right action that you're going to take. And one day you're going to say, holy cow, I'm finding the right people. Where these people were before? Because that's something that switched in our brain, something that changed, that make us to start reaching a lot of goals. And it can go very deep. I talk about that a little on Saturday when we had the meeting here in Austin, Texas. But today I'm going to have the mechanism that Napoleon Hill teach about how to set up your goals. And I am going to make a little twist, something that I learned through times, and how make it even more powerful. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Can you see the screen? You just say somebody yes or post it. Make
We see
sure.
it.
Perfect. Thank you. Think and Grow Rich. Um, how many of you have read that book? You can say me, post me on the chat. But how many of you have read this book? Um, This changed my life so much that I got so much into Napoleon Hill. I have probably about 6 or 7 books by Napoleon Hill. I have a lot of recordings. I read the book several times. I went through the audio cassette of the book many times. And that actually opened my mind to other personal development, a lot of personal development stuff that is around that's positive. And my already when I was growing up, my dad has already recordings every morning on personal development, but I had never read a book on my own. I always was listening to my dad things, but because it was my dad, I was thinking, "Oh, I don't believe in that stuff. That's an adult thing." But when this book was reading to me, opened up everything that I heard that my dad taught me, and he gave me even a system that was called, it was by Paul Mayer, was called basically Success. Paul Mayer was another great thinker. He was from here, from Texas, from Waco, Texas. I started a company called LMI, Leadership Motivation Institute, that became one of the premiers at the time on companies that were in the personal development. Yeah, some Antonia say, I read about 20 times. Yeah, reading it now, reading it now. Yes. By the way, something that we are going to do in the near future, we are going to recommend books to read for like the book of the month. I have already one has to do a lot with what we are going to see today. It's not Think and Grow Rich, but it's another book that's related to it. But anyway, he talks about 6 steps of goal setting. And here I'm going to first uh, outline what the 6 steps. The first one, he said, fixing your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. This is the way that's written in the book, by the way. Be definitely in the amount. Now, we are going to make a little twist when you start going into the exercises. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There is no such really thing as something for nothing. We talk about the law of attraction, but the law of attraction is always together with action. It's why we have this very important. The third, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. And we are going to make a little twist here too. Four, create a plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not. This is so darn important whether you are ready or not. Many of us procrastinate because we think that we have to be perfect, but we don't. Especially in this business, you're working with a team that whatever you feel that you are not comfortable or strong, you invite people to presentations or three-way calls where you are going to set this plan in action. Fifth, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. We already, but this is in one statement. Name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. Now, most people that read the book of Think and Grow Rich, they're in a job or they are in a position that they don't know what kind of plan to develop. But we are in a vehicle right now to do this. And six, read your written statement aloud twice daily at least. And I would recommend to record it to your phone. Once just before retiring at night and once after arising in the morning, as you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. Now, this you can, we are talking about money here, but you can apply this for many other things, weight loss, dream home, etc. But anyway, let's go to the first one. First, fixing your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Because in our mind, as subconscious, plenty of money could mean only $100. You do it in present tense and add or more. Example, I'm earning $10,000 or more. The reason the or more I added is not in the book. This is something that other people like, for example, T. Harv Eker, etc., talks about never to limit what we can reach, because at the universal level, at the God level, at the spiritual level, there are no limits. $10,000 for God is like a penny for us or less. But make sure you say, I earn $10,000 or more. This is the first one. As a matter of fact, if you have a paper and pen or something to write right now, write down what you want to earn. We are not talking about a rank right now. We are talking about earning, because remember, we have the cycles, etc., and it's easy to calculate. If you want to make $10,000 and you want the cycles to be at 45, divide 10,000 by 45, and you know how many cycles you want. But $10,000 or more, or you can have, say, also or better. This is the first step. Write it down right now, because you want to have that in front of you. The next one, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Now, how many hours a week are you going to invest into it? Do you want to invest some money? For example, going to events, for example, having the app, instead of having the free version of the app to pay for the yearly, that's, I think, $95, $99, events you will attend, etc. What are you willing to do? Because again, it's not going to happen for nothing. Now, it is interesting that people get in any other career, doesn't matter the career, and you have to not only maybe go to college and go to specialized trainings and courses, etc. But many people get into network marketing, into tree, and they don't want to learn anything about building the business. We have the tools, we have everything. Because it's so easy to get in, it's very easy to get out. Even if you came with a founder pack with $2,800, $2,800 are not your savings for the rest of your life. It's not a lot of money. Now, if you had to invest $100,000 like you do in a franchise or more, for sure, people would be saying, what do I have to do to get that money back? What do I have to do to get that money back? But again, how many hours a week? What are you willing to do in order to do? The third one, establish a definitive date. Now, the date or before. For example, I earn $10,000 per month or more by December 10, 2023. I say 23, it's 25. Geez, I am in the past. Let me fix that while we talk. I thought I have correct all that. Okay. I said, or before. Why you have before? Because you don't want to limit the potential that you have inside yourself, because we don't realize how much power we have inside to change things very quick. I tell the story how I was called in the company I was before. I was called to the station January, and they said, the vice president of sales and one of the founders said, George is going to be the next person that is going to accumulate $1 million in earning. And I didn't know she was going to call me on the stage, and I was excited. And when I come down, I asked her, how do you know? I said, well, I don't know. I had the feeling. I said, how close I am. And she said, well, call so-and-so. That was the person in accounting, and she will tell you. When I called her, I realized that was about 400 something thousand away. Now, the year before, I made about 300,000 something dollars. I don't remember how much exactly. And I in a whole 12 months. And she said by convention, that was 7 months later, I was going to be the next person accumulating $1 million. Of course, I called her back right away. I said, you made a mistake. I said, why? You said that in 7 months I was going to accumulate $1 million, and I need around a little more than $400,000. And last year, in the whole year, I didn't make $400,000. Say, oh, that's cool. Then you're going to make more money faster. And of course, I got off the call. They put me in front of everybody in January. Well, there were like 400 people that I was going to be the next millionaire. I wanted to make sure that I didn't let anybody down, and myself. I got with my team. We set up a very strong goal for people that wanted to go up in rank and in income. And just about 2 or 3 weeks before the convention, I got a call and saying, congratulations, you just hit the $1 million. You never know when things are going to change really, really quick in a big way. You never know. But anyway, the next one, for create a definitive plan for carry out your desire. How many new prospects will we add to my list? How many people I will connect per day? How many times I will have my prospects in a presentation? How many three-way calls? How many follow-ups? Set up a plan. We already talked a lot about that. Yesterday, 2 days ago, Nilbert talked about the importance of having a why. Make sure you have the big why, and I'm going to mention it later, because that's what is going to be the fuel to get you there, the why. But again, what is your plan? What are you willing to do? And by the way, write it down. Whatever number comes to you, write it down now, because you don't want to get out of the call and then you get into your normal day and you forget. You may say, well, tonight I'm going to get back to this, but really, would you? Make sure, how many prospects are you going to add to your list every day or every week? How many people are going to connect per day? How many times have we have prospects and presentations in a week or in a day? How many three-way calls? Three-way calls are very powerful. And how many follow-ups? The fifth, you write the whole thing. And then it just had the goal. I'm earning 10,000 per month or more by December 11, 2025 or before. I dedicate to my business 10 hours a week. I am connecting with X amount of people. I'm presenting to X amount of people. In other words, you set your goal of what you are willing to do, and then you are going to read it. You're going to read it in loud voice and with emotion, like if you already got it. Now, I'm not saying fake it until you make it. I'm even saying feel it until you get it. Because you have to feel that. You have to believe it. You have to see it. You can see yourself in the possession of the money. See what you are going to be doing with those. But the important thing, make sure you have the why. Now, the next thing, this is a card that I got from Bob Proctor when I was studying in network marketing. I had three jobs at the time. I was starting out. My biggest check probably was like, I think $500 or something like that in a month because they didn't pay weekly. That was in a whole month. And he came to, he talks about Think and Grow Rich. He actually had a copy that was something like 20 or 30 years old that he was reading, or probably older. And he said, and I learned how to write my goals. And he had what is called a golf card. Now, I'm going to put on the inside. Let me get out here for a second. And I'm going to put a link on the right side where you can download this card. Let me see. I have it already. Okay, it's right here. Okay. Okay, I'm putting on the chat on the right side the call card. And let me share again to show you how it looks like on the screen. Okay, this is the gold card. This is the one that looks like. By the way, I have one. This is the original that I have. Well, I show it to you because because it's so little right now, you're not going to see. Actually, let me show it to you. You see, this is it. As one side and the other side. I have like 20 of these originals. But you can print it out right now. Again, let me go into the link that I just sent you. And the way that's going to look on one side is the picture of Bob Proctor, and the other one, my goal. Now, you see more than, do you have 8 cards, I think? Yeah, 8, because you can set it up with different goals. But start with one. I'm happy and grateful now that, with that phrase at the beginning, you see it? Let me go to here. This is an example. My goal by December 12th, 2025, or before, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning 10,000 or more every month. I'm connecting with 20 or more people per week. I'm presenting to 5 people a week or more. You see, I have the or more. I don't have just 5 people and that's it. I'm enjoying with my family our dream vacation, enjoying our new home by the hills, whatever you want to. You have very affirmations there that is going to get, and make sure you have that card in your wallet. I have mine. I didn't want to show the goals, but this is an example of the card that you have. I put it in plastic. And you see, and you can have it, you can print it out. And I would print it out not in regular paper. You can have a stock that's a thicker, it's much easier. But one side had the picture of Bob Proctor, but this is the important side. You don't want to have the picture of Bob Proctor, that's okay. You can have your picture in the other side, why not? And I've been thinking in doing that. But in the other side, make sure you have your goal. That's very, very cool. And now, also right, as many reasons you have to do the business and reach your goal, the more reason, the stronger your motivation. And that's when yesterday, 2 days ago, we saw Nilbert talking about the importance of your why. But it's so important. You had this card. And now remember, I said it says that you read it in the morning, as soon as you wake up and before you go to bed. But when you have it in your wallet, it's small enough that you can have it in your wallet or in your purse, etc. You read it every time you have a small time. And there are other exercises that you do, like, for example, be thankful for what you have. Because if we are not thankful for what we have, we are not going to have more. It's a state of mind. We don't know exactly how it works, but it's a state of mind. When we are complaining, guess what? We reach more people, more things that are going to make us to complain more. That's it. And we are stuck. We are stuck. You repel people. You're going to attract people that love misery. And you said misery loves company, but you want to optimist people, etc. And it's so important that you always talk about the things that you are thankful for, at least 10 every day. But this gold card is so important. Bob Proctor say how the first time that he did the card like that after reading the book Think and Grow Rich, and he created his card, he was working as a fireman. Of course, that was in the 60s when the salary were very low, something like $12,000 a year. And he went in 1 year, and we are talking in the 60s, to $1 million a year. Now, he had to find the vehicle because you don't do it as a fireman person, definitely. He has to find the vehicle. He created a cleaning commercial company that exploded. He was cleaning many of the top office buildings in Toronto, Canada, where he is from. But this is the important part. And I tell you, this is something that we cannot skip. It's simple. We are going to be many days in a bad mood, and probably we are not going to read it because we are in a bad mood. Even if you are in a bad mood, make sure you get into a state. What is a state? A state of feeling that is going to make you feel stronger. It's going to feel you excited about something. It's a mental state that affects our whole body. And by the way, I start walking or moving like you are super excited. Start thinking like you're super excited. Start reading this like you are super excited. Start eventually, if you are you are feeling down that day, you are going to see a change in your state and start making calls right away because you change your state. But this is so important. And I think something as simple as this is one of the reasons, not only me, but many people that came in our organization that we were training on this, they become successful. People earn millions of dollars. And many people it's interesting how many people that earn millions of dollars, they have gone through the book Think and Grow Rich. It's incredible. People like Anthony Robbins, like Jim Rohn, I mean, people that we follow because they're incredible. And Anthony Robbins said that's what changed his mind. It was the beginning of changing his mind. His first coach was Jim Rohn, but he said, but the book Think and Grow Rich is the one that made me think huge. Anybody has any comments about that? Because I wanted to make sure I didn't go too long because I want your comments. Why do you feel? What are your goals? Why you feel that you deserve that? Because that's something else, by the way, and that's an exercise that we are going to do in another time because I don't want to put too many things at the same time. But one of the exercises is to repeat to yourself that you deserve the success right now. Not by December 25th, 2025, right now. You say, I deserve to earn $10,000 or more right now. You deserve that. Many times we feel because we don't have that, whatever goal is, 10,000, it could be 10,000 for some people, 20,000 for other ones, 50,000 for other ones, because we don't have, we never had it, or we have just a desire. Sometimes we think that it's something that has to do with ego or anything. No, you deserve, because the more you make money, the more people you're helping, the more you're helping your family, the more you're helping your society, and the better you're going to feel. There's no doubt, the better you are going to feel.
George,
now, anybody has a comment?
I love the fact that you said feel it until you get it instead of fake it till you make it. That is like amazing, that whole statement.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm glad you repeat it because it's so important. Because I remember when I started in real estate, people were saying fake it until you make it, and I never feel comfortable with the statement. Until I was reading, actually watching a video by DeMartini. By the way, Christine Peterson knows him, John DeMartini, and he was saying about feeling and getting everything. I said, holy cow, that sounds better. Although he didn't say exactly the statement, it's when I said, well, then feel it until you get it. Feel it, because the feeling is there. You don't have to have it to have the feeling. Think about the many times, especially when we were a kid, we were excited about Christmas because we felt we were going to have something and we were super excited. We felt we were playing in our mind with our bicycle or little soldiers, G.I. Joe or Barbies or whatever. And you were excited. And by the time you opened the gift, yeah, you were excited, but you already felt the excitement before you had it. That's so important. It's why feel it until you get it is so more important. I want to make sure because there's still people today say fake it until you make it. And I feel when the people say that, I say, "Ugh." I even saw it in one of the three meetings, but it's because the way that many people have been saying it for years. But that's not the way that we reach goals by faking anything. It's by feeling it for real. We're feeling it for real. We're excited for real. We know for real that something great is going to happen. And many times it's even bigger than what we thought. Especially in some business like this, it can change so darn quick. For a year or two, you can say, I'm stuck, and suddenly in a few months, everything changed. It's only two legs that we have. That's it. But we have to have it. Yeah, Neville Goddard book, I forgot, Feeling is the Secret. I think is the name of the book. The Feeling is the Secret. That book talks a lot about it. It's a very small book that you can read by Neville Goddard. You can actually find a free copy on the internet. You can buy it, and I have it in my iPad, and because I like it. And he talks about feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. You had to feel it. And remember, and the last step on Napoleon Hills, he said, you had to feel it, the excitement like you already have it. He didn't say fake it. He said you had to feel it. And it's a short phrase that many times we forgot, even if we have read the book many times, or we don't see it right away. Anybody else wants to comment? I would love to have your comments.
I'd like to give a little update from yesterday from talking about feeling good.
Hi, Craig.
Frida did meet with my friend down in Fort Myers and had dinner with her and Gary. And she is excited. She wants to try to find a way to come in as a founder. I talked to her on the phone last night, and she goes, I'll see you in Utah in June. So the excitement is there for sure. It's just a matter of tapping into those people, and they feed off your energy. So I appreciate all the teamwork that goes in to make all of our success happen.
Thank you. And I'm glad we have an amazing team. It's why, and by the way, many times we are working with people that are not directly connected with us. And we think that that doesn't affect us in a positive way. It does. Because that energy that you are creating is gonna attract other people to you too. I did that all when I started network marketing always, but it's because I felt that when I felt bad when I saw people that were orphans, even if they were totally disconnected with me and working with them, etc. But I realized that you're gonna receive a reward too. You don't see it right away, or you don't know. The reward doesn't have to be even in the business; could be in another different way, because everything moves. We live in a spiritual, we are human beings living a spiritual experience, right? A physical experience. The spiritual beings living a physical experience. And there are so many things that happen around us that are miracles, and many times we don't see them. And when we are working with people that are not even connected with us, many of those miracles happen in our life, and many times we don't even connect it because we say that didn't have anything to do with the business, or you're attracting the right people to the business. You never know. It's so important to keep that in mind. But thank you. And somebody was going to say something. I heard the microphone being off. Oh, hi, Antoinette. Okay.
Hi. I'm glad that my kids can't hear me. They're not kids anymore. Most of you know. But I have dyslexia. This is the first book that I read. I'm serious, guys. So I used to read Cliff Notes because when it's hard for you to read, it's hard for you to focus and concentrate. And we didn't have audio back then. But Christine did a training on it. And I remember saying, I'm going to try to read the whole book. And I read the whole book. And it was the first book. Literally, I've been through college, everything. I used to do Cliff Notes. Like, I know how to do that. It was the first book I read from the front to the back. But since then, I got the confidence to read more books. And I realized that I was just not reading the right books. So then I says, oh, I can read books that I like. And so if for some of you just start out with this book, and then it'll help you to move forward, maybe into other motivational books. Also, look at the news. what's in the news today is the NFL player happens to be the Philadelphia Eagles, but he read the book Inner Excellence. And it's all over the news today that in the middle of the game, he opened the book and read the book. I mean, this guy's an NFL champion, but he still reads motivational books to get him through the game. So, George, I just want to thank you because years ago, Christine, there's so many things poor Christine doesn't know. She's been such an impact. But honestly, first book I ever read, front to back.
Wow, thank you very much. Yeah, that's powerful, powerful. Yeah, and by the way, that's one of the thickest book for personal development. You go through that one, every other book is going to be seems like a breeze. And the way that you treat every chapter is actually like, because many of those chapters are like a book by itself within the book. And you can reread many times, like the mastermind or the decision, etc. Just those chapters are like a book by itself. It's a really powerful book. And there are many of the books today on personal development that exist. Actually, they have the root in that book. By the way, that book also had the root in another book that was written like 10 years earlier, that Napoleon Hill, when he wrote The Laws of Success, he was talking about how a book influenced him too. A book written in 1909. That was like 20 years before he wrote his book. But this was the first one that was well organized, so darn organized that each chapter was with a step by step, etc. That's why that book is still, even today, is a manual of. But something that we are going to do, by the way, through the next few months, we are going to be recommending a book every month that you can do. There's another book that it changed my life when I went with Bob Proctor's seminar. Not only I went back into the Think and Grow Rich, but I went into the book that he wrote. That was his perception of Think and Grow Rich. And it's a great, amazing book too, and you can get it for free. And I'm going to tell you next time how you can get it for free. But meanwhile, make sure you do the exercise. Write down your goal, how much money you want to earn or more. When do you want to achieve that goal or before? What kind of plan, what are you willing to give in order to go to reach your goal? What kind of plan you are going to develop, and make sure you set up the whole statement and read it at least twice a day. I will record it too, that because I do that. I record it on my phone and I listen to myself. Although I have to say, I don't like my voice on recording. I don't know if you had the same thing. When I listen to myself, I say, holy cow, I don't like myself voice. But I think that's normal. And if I start singing, it's even worse. But anybody else before?